Welcome you all on DCT classes on mechanical measurements and metrology. Myself Ajit G. Joshi, Assistant Professor from Canara Engineering College, Mangalore. Let us go to the first question. A main scale is divided into half mm and having a vernier containing 20 divisions has a least count of dash centimeter. It has four options. One is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 2, 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 2, 0.025 into 10 raised to minus 2, 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 2. Answer is D, 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 2. Because always the least count is calculated for any vernier scale is with the formula value of one main scale division divided by total number of divisions on a vernier scale. Mean to say each vernier main scale division is divided into some certain number of divisions on the vernier scale. How many divisions on the vernier scale that we need to count before we calculate for the least count. Here in the question it is given that on a vernier scale 20 divisions are present. So one main scale division usually on a given scale is a main scale division is divided into half mm. So main scale is further divided into half mm. So 0.5 mm here it is. One main scale division on the main scale here is 0.5 mm. So 0.5 mm divided by total number of divisions on the vernier scale is 20 divisions. So 0.5 mm divided by 20 is 0.025 mm or nothing but 0.025 into 10 raised to minus 1 centimeter or 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 2 centimeter it is, if it is in terms of centimeter. If in terms of mm, directly we can calculate it as 0.025 mm. Next question. The least count of slide calipers is given by 1 MST plus 1 VST, 1 MST minus 1 VST, 1 MST into 1 VST, 1 MST divided by 1 VST. Answer is 1 MST minus 1 VST. Least count ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಒನ್ ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ಸ್. ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಈವನ್ ನಾವು ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಒನ್ ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಒನ್ ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒನ್ ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಓಕೆ. Next question. In a measurement, what is the term specified to specify the closeness of two or more measurements? Options are precision, accuracy, fidelity, threshold. In measurement, what is the term used to specify the closeness of two or more measurements? ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಾನು 1 mm ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾನು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನನಗೆ 1 mm ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ 1.101 mm ಐ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಐ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ 1.02. ಸೊ ಈ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು 2-3 ಸಲ ಆ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವೆದರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್, ಅವು ಒಂದು ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ? ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್. ಜನರಲಿ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ a precision. Precision is a term used to define the closeness of two or more measurements always it is. Okay. Example, I may be as I mentioned, either it is 1.01, 1.02, 1.03 or 9.99. So it is a term which I can say that for n number of measurements, how close each measured reading is. Even another example which is given here, the 3.1 kg as output. So the measurement is said to be more precise. Okay. Next, in a measuring system, what is the term used to specify a difference between higher and lower calibration value? Options which are given as range, span, drift, threshold. ಲೋವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ? ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂತ. ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ It is the difference between higher and lower calibration value for a given instrument. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಪರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ 0 to 25 mm ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ 0 to 10 mm ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಗೇಜ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಮೀಟರ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ. Generally it is available in the range of 0 to 25 and 25 to 50 mm. So what the 0 to 25 ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೇಂಜ್. ಅದು 0 to 25 ಅನ್ನೋದು ರೇಂಜ್. ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ 25 mm minus 0, so 25 mm is the span. ಅದು so span is the difference between higher value and lower calibration value. Range is from two value we are defining, from which value to which value, that is a minimum and maximum value that can be specified with the help of a range. Next question, closeness of measured value to true value. ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೂ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಶಾಫ್ಟಿಗೆ 10 mm ಇದೆ. ಆ 10 mm ನಾನು ಒಂದು ವರ್ನಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಪರ್ಸ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಚ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮೆಷರ್ಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಏನು ನಾವು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಷರ್ಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಟ್ರೂ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ 10 mm ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ, ಪ್ರೆಸಿಷನ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಸರ್ಟನಿಟಿ. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ accuracy. Accuracy is nothing but it is a measurement, is a term used in a measurement to define the closeness of a measured value with a true value. ಅಂದರೆ 10 mm ಇದೆ, ನಾನು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 10.01, ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟು 0.01 ಹಾಗೆ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೂ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಷರ್ಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದಲ್ವ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ಟರ್ಮ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Science of precise and accurate measurements of various physical quantities is termed as metrology, meteorology, pedology, mineralogy. Mineralogy, meteorology or pedology ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಲೈಕ್ ಮಿನರಾಲಜಿ ಅದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ ಟೈಪ್ meteorology again it is a different terminology, but closely measurements and metrology. Metrology ಅನ್ನೋದೇನು, it is a science of pure measurements. Metrology is a term used to define a measurement. So it is a metrology is a science of measurement. It includes all theoretical aspects of measurement. So what is the name of screw thread which is formed on a cone? What is the name of a screw thread which is formed on a cone? Cone ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೋನ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್, ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್, ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್. ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ಕೋನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಶೇಪ್, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Tapered screw thread. So a screw thread which is formed by forming a continuous helical groove on an internal or external surface of a cylinder. ಇದೇನು ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡಲ್ಲಿ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಫ್ರಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋನ್ ನೀವು ಮುಂದಿಂದು ತುದಿ ಅಪೆಕ್ಸ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್. ಸೊ ಐದರ್ ಫ್ರಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಎ ಕೋನ್. ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್. ನೀವು ಮೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಟೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ವ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಟೇಪರ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸಸ್. ಆ ಕೋನಿಕಲ್ ಶೇಪಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. Which of the following is not a name for the major diameter of an external thread? ನಾವು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೈನರ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, thread angle, pitch. These are the different terms which we define, which we use as a specification for a external screw thread or threads. ಸೊ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೇನು ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು? ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, ಫುಲ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, ಕ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್, ಕೋನ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಕೋನ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಟರ್ಮು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕೆಲವು ಸರಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಫುಲ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕೋನ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. For a straight thread, major diameter is the diameter of a major cylinder, or it is also known as outside diameter, full diameter for external threads. Sometimes it is also called as crest diameter. What is thread per inch in a screw thread? ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಕೆಲವು ಸರಿ 10 ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್, 2 ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್, 3 ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಬೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಟರ್ಮಿಗೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಏನದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ? ಪಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಚಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಟರ್ಮ್, ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಟರ್ಮ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಏನು ಡಿನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? Options are pitch in inches, axial distance moved by thread part, reciprocal of pitch in inches, radial distance moved by threaded part. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಚಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಚಸ್. ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಚ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಚಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಪಿಚ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಒಂದು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಡಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಸ್ಟಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪಿಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಪಿಚ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಚ್, ಸೊ 1 divided by that pitch in terms of inches, that is what thread per inches. ಅಂದರೆ 1 ಇಂಚಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪಿಚ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಚಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆ 1 ಇಂಚಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಚಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಚಸ್. ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಪರ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೆಸಿಪ್ರೋಕಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಚಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಚಸ್, ಆರ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಹೆಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪಿಚ್ ಲೈನ್ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ perpendicular to the axis is known as lead angle. ಇದು another term. Lead angle is measured in an axis plane. What type of thread is formed on a female screw gauge? Options ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು external thread, internal thread, both internal external thread, major screw thread. ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೂ ಗೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ or which is produced? So it is always a internal screw thread or internal thread. An internal thread is that which is formed on the inside of a workpiece. Example, on a female screw gauge or a nut. An external thread is that which is formed on the outside of a workpiece. Example, on bolts and nuts. Next question ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು up to which angle sine bars can measure the angles? 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120 degree. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಅಪ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ angle sine bars can measure the angle. Sine bars is always used to measure the minimum number of angle, that is 45 degree. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್, ಲೆಸ್ ದೆನ್ 45 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಈ ಜನರಲಿ ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆ ಆ ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ ಡ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ರು ಅಂಥದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. Sine bars become impractical and inaccurate as the angle exceeds 45 degree because the bar is physically clumsy to hold in that position, and even a slight error of the sine bar can cause large angular errors after this angle. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೀನ್ ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಭಾರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ವೆನ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ exceeds 45 degree. Which of the distance between axis of the two rollers of sine bar? What is the distance? Generally ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ 2 ರೋಲರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಅವೆರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಇರೋ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 50 mm, 100 mm, 500 mm, 1000 mm. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ 100 mm. ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವೆರಡನ್ನು ನಾವು ಜನರಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದು 100 mm, 200 ಮತ್ತು 300 3 ಗ್ರೇಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವು 3 ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಜನರಲಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು 200 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, 300 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ 100 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ 100 mm is the correct answer for this. Which of the following is incorrect regarding the sine bars? Sine bar is itself a complete measuring instrument. Some holes are drilled in the body. It can be used to locate any work to a given angle. It is capable of self-generation. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ತಪ್ಪನ್ನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್. ಅದು ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟಾ? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್, ಸಮ್ ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ರಿಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಎನಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟು ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೇಪೇಬಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್. ಅದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಓವರ್ ದಟ್ ನಾವು ಡಯಲ್ ಗೇಜ್ನ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ನ ಹೈಟ್ನ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಂದ ಹೈಟ್ನಾಗ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ್ಯಂಗಲ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. So sign bar itself is not a complete instrument, a complete measuring instrument. Another datum like surface plates are needed. Generally surface plate ಮೇಲೆ sign bar na clamp ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು angle na measure ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Some holes are drilled in the bar body. It is to facilitate handling and reduced weight. ನೀವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸೈನ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡು ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಹೋಲ್ನ ಡ್ರಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ What is sign center? Sign center ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? Options are center of sign bar with hole in center, sign bar with blocking holding centers, sign bar with hollow rod in center. ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರ್ದು ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಿಸಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ರಾದರ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಸಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರಲ್ಲಿ we cannot place the conical specimen like a tapered specimen. We can place it on the sign bar and measure the angle. So in that case we have to hold the tapered surfaces between two centers. ಆ ಎರಡು ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಸೈನ್ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಸೊ ಟು ಬ್ಲಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ when it is attached to a sign bar, it becomes a sign center. So obviously in that case the answer is sign bar with block holding centers. A sign bar with block holding centers is known as sign center. It can be rigidly clamped and adjusted in any position. Sign bar centers can be used for inspection of the conical objects between the centers. A plug gauge is used for checking is the next question. For options have one, the length of the cylinder, cylindrical bores, diameter of shafts, all the above. Plug gauge is always used to check the cylindrical bores. ಸಿಲಿಂಡ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಬೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಹೋಲ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಬೋರಿಂಗ್ ಈ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಹೋಲ್ದು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಟಾಲರೆನ್ಸ್ that has to be checked. Example, manufacturing of hole with a dimension, let me say 10 plus or minus of 0.02. So 10 plus or minus of 0.02 ಅಂದರೆ 10 minus of 0.02 is the lower limit. So answer is 9.98. ಆ 9.98 ಕಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೋ ಗೇಜ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. 10.02ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೋ ಗೋ ಗೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ದೋಸ್ ಗೇಜಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ಲಗ್ ಗೇಜಸ್. They are used to check whether the hole diameter lies in the different limits. Defined limits ಅಂತಂದರೆ as I already mentioned, within 10 plus or minus of 0.02. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಹೋಲ್ದು ಟಾಲರೆನ್ಸ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಸ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಜನರಲಿ ಹೋಲ್ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಲೋವರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 0. Okay, to be specific or accurately, it should have been 10 plus 0.04 minus 0. Okay, that is how it can be. Next question, what is not true for plug and ring gauges for self-holding tapers? These tapers can be used for accurate alignment of tools. They can be used for the purpose of transmitting the torques. They are used for use of these gauges helps in arriving at absolute deviation. Tapers can be external or internal. Answer is use of these gauges helps in arriving at absolute deviation. That is not true with the self-holding tapers. That is for plug gauges and ring gauges with respect to the self-holding tapers. These plug gauges or ring gauges can be used for accurate alignment of the tool. They can be used for arriving the absolute deviation, or even the tapers can be external or internal. These are true. So self-holding tapers are mostly used in tool shanks and machine spindle nozzles. So purpose of this is an accurate alignment of tool and torque transmission. Both plug and ring gauges, they are used to check tapers because tapers can be both external or internal. What is the next question is, what is the suitable material for small plain plug gauges? Any type of steel, light metal alloys, non-metallic handles may be used, aluminum. Answer is non-metallic handles may be used. So that is the answer. Suitable wear resisting steel is used for making gauge members of plain plug gauges. For heavy plain plug gauges, handle may be of light metals are used. For small plain plug gauges, suitable non-metallic handles may be used. That is the answer. That is why answer is non-metallic handles. Which principle is used to is related to gauge design? Rankin's principle, position principle, Taylor's principle, Carnot principle. The principle is Taylor's principle. Taylor's principle of tool makers gauge design. That's what the principle is. Okay. ಅದೇನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ the statement for this Taylor's principle is no go and go gauges are designed to check minimum and maximum material limits. In gauge design, simplicity is the main aim, as simple gauge can take measurements accurately and continuously. Which of the following is true for plug gauges? First one, size difference between go and no go plug gauges is greater than the tolerance of tested shaft or hole. Size difference between go and no go plug gauges is equal to the tolerance tested shaft or hole. Size difference between no go and go plug gauges is less than the tolerance of the tested shaft or hole. Size difference between go and no go plug gauges is more or less than the tolerance of a tested shaft or hole. The answer is B. Size difference between go and no go plug gauges is equal to the tolerance of a tested shaft or hole. It is always like the lower limit is with the go and upper limit with the no go gauges, so that we can check for the maximum and minimum limits of a given tolerance. So adikoskara to maintain this, that's why the answer is B. In case of standard gauges, size difference between no go plug gauges and snap gauges is equal to tolerance. Always to maintain the size and adequate functioning of snap gauges, robustness and rigidity are the main features. Next question is, dash falls into the category of absorption diameter. Absorption dynamometers are rope brake dynamometer, epicyclic train dynamometer, belt transmission dynamometer, torsion dynamometers. First of all, dynamometers, they are used for checking the torque. So in this, dash falls into the absorption type dynamometers. Absorption type dynamometers are rope brake dynamometers. They are a type of rope brake dynamometers. It is a device used for measuring the torque or power in an engine in a process in which energy supplied to the device by the engine is absorbed. In a rope brake dynamometer, power is absorbed in friction between the rope and the drum during the measurement of torque. That's why it is called as it is a category of absorption type dynamometers. Which of the following is a transmission type dynamometer? Rope brake dynamometer, prone brake dynamometers, hydraulic dynamometers, none of the above. Rope brake dynamometer, obviously it is not, because it absorbs some amount of energy, as we discussed in the last slide. So answer is none of the above. Yakantandre prone brake dynamometer, again it absorbs some amount of energy. Hydraulic, it is a different type dynamometer where hydraulic type of energy is used for checking the torque. So transmission dynamometers is a device used for measuring the torque or power without being absorbed or used up during the transmission. So option A, B, C are absorption type dynamometer. The most commonly used device for measurement of heavy forces in industries are load cell, strain gauge, spring. So 4 options. So answer for this is load cell. Load cell is a device which is used to check the load, for heavy forces or heavy weights in industries. Okay. Next question is, temperature is measured by the comparison of brightness of source with that of a standard source. In ಯಾವ type temperature measuring instruments ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ thermocouple, optical pyrometer, resistance thermometer, bimetallic thermometer. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಈಚ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಏನು. ಥರ್ಮೋಕಪಲ್, ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಮೆಷರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಯೂಸಸ್ ದ ಲೈಟ್. Bimetallic thermometer, again it does not uses the light. Resistance thermometer, again it uses the electrical energy, not the light. So obviously the optical pyrometer is the answer. It compares the brightness of the hot body with the standard filament brightness. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಬಲ್ಬಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಫಿಲಾಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಟು ಗ್ಲೋ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಏನು ಲೈಟ್ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಫಿಲಾಮೆಂಟಿಂದ, ಅದನ್ನು ಬ್ರೈಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹಾಟ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೆನ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. Next question is, hydrometer is used to measure. Options are relative humidity of air, temperature of liquids, specific gravity of solids, specific gravity of liquids. Answer is specific gravity of liquids. Hydrometer is a device used to measure the specific gravity or relative density of liquids. That is the ratio of the density of liquid to the density of water. That is what we call it as a specific gravity or relative density of liquids. Next, which of the following cannot be used for density measurements? Hydrometer, pitot static device, air bubbler system, U-tube system. Pitot static device cannot be used for density measurement. Pitot static device is used for flow measurements. That's why it is not a device used for density measurement. It is the answer. Next question is, which of the following is represented by a ratio of density of substance to the density of water at 40 degrees Celsius? Understand, which of the following is represented by a ratio of density of a substance to the density of water at 40 degrees Celsius? Specific density, weight density, specific gravity, mass density. Specific gravity. 24ನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಟ್ 40 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್. Hygrometer, it is used to measure. So options are humidity of air, temperature of liquids, specific gravity of solids, specific gravity of liquids. Answer is humidity of air. Hygrometer is an instrument used to measure humidity or moisture of air. In hygrometer, the principle of measurement is one, the change in resistance of salts with humidity, change in thermal conductivity using the thermocouple, change in oven power with cholesterol. None of the above. Answer is change in resistance of salts with the humidity. Based on this principle, the hygrometer works, and it is a device used to measure, check the humidity. So in resistive type of hygrometer, change in electrical resistance of a material occurs due to the change in the humidity. Based on that, the humidity is being checked. When the size of the shaft is constant member and different fits are obtained by varying the size of the hole is called. I will read the question, listen carefully. When the size of the shaft is constant member, when the size of the shaft is a constant member and different fits are obtained by varying the size of the hole is called. Which type of system it is actually? Unilateral system, bilateral system, hole basis system, shaft basis system. ಅಂದರೆ ಶಾಫ್ಟ್ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ನ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿ ಆರ್ ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೈಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್. ವಿಚ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಶಾಫ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ two important systems. One is hole basis system and shaft basis system. In a shaft basis system, the shaft diameter is kept constant and the size of the different fits are obtained by varying the size of the hole. If the whole diameter is kept constant and the different fits are obtained by varying the size of the shaft, then it is called hole basis system. The relationship exists between the mating surfaces of the parts because the difference in dimension is called limits, fits, tolerance, deviation. The relationship exists between the mating parts of the parts because the difference in dimension is called fits. Because fit is defined as a relationship between two mating parts with respect to the dimensional difference prior to assembly. ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು components which are about to assemble, let me say it as a hole and a shaft. Based on the difference in its dimension, example 10 mm hole, 9.98 mm shaft. So shaft diameter whole diameter ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ one type of fit ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It is approximately equal, so with the variation in its limits, then we obtain a different type of fit. When the size of the shaft is exceeding the size of the hole, then it is again a different type of fit. So based on this relationship, we are defining the fits. Which term indicates the difference between maximum limit of size and minimum limit of size? One is deviation, tolerance, actual size, upper deviation. B, tolerance. Which term indicates the difference between maximum limit of size and minimum limit of size? ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಹೋಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. 10 plus 0.04 minus zero point 0. So it is the when I say that when I am giving the interval minus 0 to 0.04, minus 0 and plus 0.04 both are limits, upper limit and lower limit. What that is defined, ಅದು ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ the hole which is going to be manufactured that should lie in the same interval. Okay, so that is what we are giving, and that is what the tolerance. So hole, it is highly impossible to manufacture a hole at exactly 10 mm. So we are giving some allowance. That is what we call it as a tolerance here. We are giving some interval within which the hole should lie. So in any case, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು it is highly impossible to manufacture to an exact dimension. For that reason we define a tolerance, and it is a permissible limits or limits of variation in physical dimension, measured value of physical property of material. What is the term of algebraic difference between a size to its corresponding basic size? Deviation, lower deviation, upper deviation, actual deviation. What is the term used to define, or it is the term of algebraic difference between a size to its corresponding size? Other basic size banbute example 10 mm is the whole diameter. Okay, so plus 0.4 eno minus 0 eno, so that is what he is asking. So 10 plus 0.4 basic size banbute 10 plus 0.4 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನು, ಇದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್. In the limits, when I am specifying minus 0 and plus 0.4, then we can say that plus 0.4 is upper deviation, minus 0 is a lower deviation. But in general both are deviation itself. So deviation is a general term used to define the difference between a size to its nominal size. Nominal size ಅಂದಾಗ ಆ whole diameter na define ಮಾಡಿರೋ 10 mm is the nominal diameter. That is what we call it as a basic size. A difference between maximum limit and nominal dimension is called upper deviation, that is plus 0.04. Between minimum limit and nominal dimension is that is minus 0, that is minimum deviation or lower deviation. And actual size is the difference between actual size and the nominal size. Example, a whole manufacture ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು 10.02 ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So plus 0.02 is the actual size. 10.02 is the actual size. So actual deviation ಅಂದ್ರೇನು plus 0.02, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ 10 mm is the basic size. ನಮಗೆ ಹೋಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದರದ್ದು ಸೈಜ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 10.02 ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ 10.02 ಅನ್ನೋದೇ 0.02 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್. What is the fit if the limits of hole are 25 to 25.021 and the limits of shaft are 25.022 to 25.03? One clearance fit, second one transition fit, third one interference fit, fourth one maximum clearance fit. Illi now first we have to concentrate on lower limits and upper limits. Lower limit for the hole is 25, upper limit for the hole is 25.021. Similarly for the shaft, lower limit is 25.022, upper limit of the shaft is 25.0203. So first ನಾವೇನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ what is the lower limit of the hole to what is the lower limit of the shaft, upper limit of the hole to lower limit of the shaft. Upper limit of the hole is 25.021 and lower limit of the shaft is 25.022. So if I am going for even the lower limit of the hole is 25 and the lower limit of the shaft is 25.022. When I compare with the lower limit of the shaft with the lower limit and upper limit of the hole, and again similarly when I compare the upper limit of the hole shaft with the lower limit and upper limit of the hole, in both the cases I get some clearance between the shaft and the hole. That's why it is called it is called a transition fit. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ zero very minimum deviation, very minimum clearance ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So example, clearance fit is tolerance of mating always leave some spaces. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So it is a 25.022 is a clear transition fit we are generally obtaining, because you need to apply a pressure to fit these two assemblies. A transducer that converts the input physical phenomena into clear electrical output in the form of pulses is known as transducer that converts input physical phenomena into electrical output. ಆ ಡಿವೈಸಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್, ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್, ಅನಲಾಗ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ಯೂಸರ್, 2-unit transducer. Transducer is a digital transducer. Answer is digital transducer, which converts any given physical phenomena or physical measured quantity. Strain gauge, LVDT and thermocouples are example for active transducer, passive transducer, analog transducer, primary transducer. Analog transducer because it gives in terms of signals. Later we can convert it in terms of readings. So that's why it is an analog transducer. It gives some output in terms of electrical signals. A strain gauge, it is a passive transducer and is employed for converting. First option is mechanical displacement to change of resistance, pressure into change of resistance, pressure into displacement, force into displacement. Strain gauge the working principle ಏನು? Strain ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ it is a mechanical displacement always. It is about it is a term used for related to mechanical displacement. So strain gauge, it is the instrument used to convert mechanical displacement into change of resistance. So for the so finally the output will be electrical signals. Okay, that is in case of strain gauge. So answer is mechanical displacement. Pressure into the change of resistance, not possible because strain gauge is not converting. Strain gauge is always it is with respect to the mechanical displacement. Okay. Next is maximum allowable limit. That measurement may vary from the true is called maximum allowable limit from the true term. It is called expected error, range of error, permissible error or safe error. Answer is permissible error. Maximum allowable limit ನಾವೇನು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, that is a maximum permissible dimension or maximum permissible error with respect to the instrument. If the instrument is giving beyond this error, then instrument is unfit, can be called unfit for the measurement. Rotameter. Rotameter is a device used to measure option 1 flow, rotation, viscosity, density. Flow, don't get confused with the name. Rotameter is a device used to measure the flow. Okay, that measures the volumetric flow rate of liquid in a closed tube. It belongs to class of meters with the variable area meters, which measures flow rate by allowing the cross sectional area the fluid travels but to vary, causing a measurable effect. That is the explanation or the definition for rotameter. Okay, don't again I am telling, don't get confused with the rotameter name. By many students get confused. Rotameter, it goes with the rotation, so don't do that. Rotameter is a device used to measure the volumetric flow rate of a fluid in a closed tube. Which type of tolerance provided in drilling mostly? Bilateral, unilateral, trilateral, compound. Unilateral. See, there is no trilateral or a compound. Generally we go with the bilateral or unilateral generally. Okay, so in case of tolerances, mostly unilateral tolerance is provided in drilling. In general, unilateral tolerance is provided in drilling, as dimension is allowed to vary in one direction. So a hole size is always oversize, not undersize. That's why generally the basic dimension is set as a lower limit in that case. Next question is the difference between maximum possible final reading and the lowest initial reading is known as range, limit, tolerance, accuracy. Answer is range. The range I already discussed. Range is always defined from the minimum possible reading to the maximum possible reading. Range in the ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? 0 mm to 25 mm, 25 mm to 50 mm, but we don't say that as a 0.5 mm, something like that, correct? So range is always it is a minimum reading to the final maximum possible reading. So that is the lowest possible reading to the maximum possible reading. That is what the range is. Range of a measuring instrument is defined as the measure of the instrument between lowest and highest readings.